month's edition of On the Go, we're at Dignity Health's Arizona General Hospital in Laveen. Great news for District 7 and 8 residents, bringing new health care to our area. And we're here with Dr. Ed Morrow, who's going to tell us a little bit about the hospital and his work here. So welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for visiting us this morning. We'd love to have you.
Wonderful. So you are now open in the Laveen area.
That's right. We opened 2 weeks ago in Laveen. We haven't officially had our grand opening yet, but we're seeing patients, and we're excited to provide that level of service in Laveen that's been lacking. We're bringing increased access to high-quality medical care here in the Laveen area for the residents of Laveen.
Wonderful. It was one of the biggest issues in my campaign. When I went door to door, people said, we really need health care. You know, my child will have an asthma attack, and we have to go all the way into downtown Phoenix. So you have a lot of happy residents.
Yeah, we're experiencing that. Everybody who comes in is really excited about the fact that we're here. I think Laveen has been somewhat overlooked. You've got a robust, vibrant community here that's really been overlooked with regards to its access to care. I think people are really excited about the opportunity to be close to home and be well taken care of with a high-quality service.
What services can a patient expect here?
We're a full-service emergency department, so as you can see, we have full-service radiology, full-service laboratory capabilities. We have board-certified, trained emergency physicians on every shift, and we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with no appointment necessary.
Wonderful. What is some of the spectrum of patients you've already seen?
Interestingly, we're seeing that we have a high acuity of patients who come in with complex medical problems, many of whom haven't been seen in any recent period, going on months now. And so what we're trying to do is bring them closer to the healthcare system, closer to home, so that they have increased access to care that they wouldn't normally not otherwise have.
Wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit, why it's so important to reduce the travel time to a hospital?
Sure. I think reducing travel time is one thing, but also what we try to do is reduce waiting times. We try to reduce times to being seen and times to leaving. And so we find that patient satisfaction scores really go up when you're able to provide those services in a location close to home, in a really brand new facility, which is wonderful to be in. I think patients are really comfortable here, and we've worked really hard on making it a comfortable environment for patients to be seen in addition to providing that high-quality care that patients have become accustomed to, and the customer service that they come to expect, really in any emergency department setting. And so by offering that here in Laveen, close to home, we find that people are really excited to be here, and we're really excited to serve them.
Wonderful. And Laveen community is excited to have you, and you've been a great corporate partner. It's exciting to have you as the lead sponsor for the Laveen Barbecue coming up.
That's right. We do have the Laveen Barbecue. Our grand opening in February is going to be sort of big to do. We hope that people find their way here and that we're able to provide not only a level of service, but a level of comfort. We want you to think of us as your family doctor. Even though we're the emergency department and you may not see the same person every time, we're committed to high quality care. And again, all of our physicians are board certified and trained, and they're happy to serve.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you were doing before you came to Laveen?
Sure. I trained in the East Coast, and I've been in Phoenix now for about 8 years. I trained in the emergency department in Detroit. I went on and did a fellowship in critical care medicine in Detroit as well. And for the last 8 years, I've been working in the Department of Emergency Medicine as well as the Department of Internal Medicine in a local facility here, seeing ER and ICU patients both.
Wonderful. Yeah. It's great to have someone with your experience here.
Thank you. Well, happy to be here.
Wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about the blood services and some of the other testing that's available at the hospital?
Yes, we have full service testing available here on site. Anything that we do not do here, we do have a very new relationship with Dignity Health in order to provide that level of service that maybe is not available on site with a quick turnaround. Within a few hours, we can get any study done that you'd be able to get anywhere else. As far as blood services go, we do have blood available on site. Typically, facilities that are of this size and scope do not have that capability, and so we're excited to bring that to the area of Laveen and to the hospital.
And what are your capabilities in the area of surgery?
Well, we have 2 state-of-the-art surgical suites. We have contracted a few general surgeons in the area, but anybody who has any type of outpatient procedure that needs to be done, or if we have a patient who comes in through the ER who needs to have emergency surgery, we have the capability of handling that here on site, admitting them to our beautiful new inpatient facility in their own private suite, where they can have their family members around and a full service experience here as if you were staying in a hotel.
It is, and the rooms are so much larger than I'm used to, so that's nice as well.
They're larger, and I find that they're very comfortable. They're up to date with regards to technology. We have full service access to internet here at the hospital. Pretty much anything you need that you would have at home, we tried to bring into the facility, understanding that when you're here, we want you to feel like you're home.
Wonderful. We're standing by a CT scanner. Can you tell us some of the equipment that we have here?
Well, everything here is new. This is a new facility, so we have state-of-the-art equipment throughout. We have a brand new 64-slice CT scanner, pretty much the top of the line, newest model that you can get. You know, and in addition to that, we have a full-service interventional radiology suite next door. We have the full-service operating rooms, really designed to take care of any level of acuity that comes in with any type of presentation. As long as we have the person there willing to do it, we're willing to house it.
Wonderful. And I suppose we shouldn't take it for granted. What is a CT scanner?
So a CT scanner is a high complexity radiographic test that we use to make quick diagnoses on patients who come in who need to have radiographic imaging of any part of their body. So, you know, you may go to your ER and feel as though you're not getting the high quality care because they don't have the most up-to-date equipment, but we have radiology available, we have portable x-ray services available, we have CT scanners on site that are done within 15 minutes with radiology reads that come back within 30 minutes, and typically that's not found in an emergency department setting. So we're really proud to offer that service. We work very hard to make sure that our wait times are low and that doesn't delay our treatment plans, and that patients go home happy and satisfied. And if for any reason they need to come back, we're very happy to see them. Multiple visits, you know, whatever. Until we get it done and we get it right, we're going to continue to see you and make sure that things go smoothly.
Wonderful. Well, Laveen is definitely on the move, and we're excited to have Dignity investing in Laveen and this great partnership, so welcome.
Well, thank you. We're proud to be here, and we hope that we meet all of you very soon.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're here with Bob Honeycutt, President and CEO of Arizona General Hospital. Welcome to Laveen. Can you tell us a little bit about why you chose to invest in our community?
I'd be glad to, thank you. We chose Laveen because we felt there was an area that was an underserved market for healthcare. And through our process of analysis, we talked with local government authorities and the Department of Arizona Health Department and asked them, you know, to help us guide. And through our research, we saw that this was an underserved area and that we needed a local access to care here in the Laveen community. So that's why we chose the area.
Wonderful. I know Councilman Nowakowski and my other colleagues who represent this area, every time we meet with the hospital, we've been singing the praises of Laveen, and we're glad that you chose to invest here.
And we are glad to do so.
Can you tell us physically where we're located and maybe some of the areas where you expect your customers to come
Absolutely. We're located at 7171 South 51st Avenue, very close to the intersection with Baseline. We feel that our patients will be coming from the Laveen community itself and probably expand 5 to 10 miles out from that, because the other local hospital from our area is about a 25-minute ride. We wanted something local so that they could have easy access.
Wonderful. And you're already investing in our community. Can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, we think community involvement is very, very important. In fact, this weekend we're having an event. We're working with Fairfax High School to do that. We've been involved in some holiday toy drives as well. And one of our key components of being a healthcare facility is be very active in the community. So we're looking forward to do that.
Wonderful. We really appreciate your donation to the band and choir at Fairfax, and look forward to partnering with you at the barbecue coming up. So thank you for being in Laveen.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having us.
Wonderful. And now we're going to head downtown and learn a little bit about economic development in Phoenix. Thank you for joining us.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back. We're here at Phoenix Community Toolbank, a great partner for volunteers, neighborhood groups who need an extra hand in doing projects. So I'm with the executive director, Jana Smith. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Can you tell us a little bit about Phoenix Community Toolbank?
The Phoenix Community Toolbank is a new resource for the Phoenix community, and we lend tools, everything from power tools to rakes, shovels, hammers, wheelbarrows, safety gear, tables, to nonprofit schools and neighborhood associations, government entities, basically anybody going out and doing charitable work in the community. We want to make sure we get tools in the hands of their volunteers so they can do the best job possible.
Thank you. Well, we're so glad to have you in District 8. another District 8 gem, and we have so many active groups who don't always have the resources they need, big ideas but not big budgets, and you will help them bridge that gap.
Absolutely. The point is to just be able to increase the power of volunteerism in the Phoenix community. So those groups that may have the willing hands to come out but not the tools available to do things like a playground build or a new community garden, we want to give them the tools so that they can put those to use.
Wonderful. Can you give me an example of a group who's borrowed your tools?
Absolutely. Recently there was an organization that put up holiday lights and Tempe Neighbors Helping Neighbors for seniors that were homebound, and so they were able to borrow ladders because they had lots of people that could come out and put the lights up, and they had the lights, they just didn't have the ability to get the lights up on the houses. So they borrowed ladders to be able to install holiday lights to make seniors' holiday season just a little bit happier.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for helping brighten the holiday season. How can people find out more or sign up to become affiliated with you?
Absolutely. So our website is www.phoenix.toolbank.org, and groups that are interested in becoming member agencies can actually register on our website. They just go there. There's a link that says join or a member agency here, and they can do all of that online. Also, if they have any questions, our contact information is on the website as well, so they can reach out, and we're happy to answer any questions.
And we're in District 8 now. Can you describe the location?
We're just off I-10 and 40th Street.
Wonderful. So very convenient to freeways. People can easily come by. And
absolutely. And we hope that they will come by and borrow our tools.
Beautiful big space and plenty of room for even large groups to come and launch projects.
Absolutely. We're in an over 12,000 square foot warehouse, and so we'll have 1,000+ tool inventory when we open, so there's plenty of space to have more tools and for people to come out and help us get the tools ready.
Can you give us some examples of some of the tools you'll be lending?
Absolutely. So the types of tools that we will have are everything from power tools to more basic tools like shovels and saws, as well as safety gear, things that you might not typically think about when you're doing a volunteer project, like tables and chairs for volunteer registration, as well as coolers. We know in the Arizona heat it gets really hot, and if you're out doing a project in the summer, you want to make sure your volunteers have plenty of water. So we'll lend coolers and the 5-gallon water coolers, so for organizations as well.
And even you can help with ice.
Absolutely, and we'll be able to fill them up and get them ready to go out the door.
Wonderful. So you come to this job with a lot of experience in the nonprofit sector and working with organizations. Tell me a little bit about your background.
So yeah, I've actually worked in the nonprofit industry for about 13 years here in the Valley, and one of the things that really drew me to a concept like the Phoenix Community Toolbank is I remember when I worked for nonprofits having to do renovation projects. A lot of times when we wanted to redo or make our programs better, if we were using volunteers, we'd have to ask them to bring their own tools or go out and buy tools that, because we were in the volunteer resource, then those tools would either be donated someplace else or have to sit in a closet until we were ready to do another project. And so that kind of takes the responsibility off of the nonprofit and the ability to do more with their funds.
Wonderful. It's certainly something that we at the City of Phoenix were very excited about. We have great volunteers, but don't always have the budget to equip everyone, and so we're glad that you decided to invest in our community.
Absolutely, thank you. We're excited to be here, and we think this will be a great resource for our Phoenix member agencies.
Wonderful. Anything else people should know?
I think we just want to make sure that everyone knows about our resource and get the word out, and we're happy to get tools out into the community.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We're here with Board President Ian Hamp, who's going to tell us a little bit about how the Phoenix Community Toolbank came to our community and community tool banks across the country.
Thanks for the opportunity to tell that story. I was actually in Charlotte, North Carolina, visiting for a big day of service that Wells Fargo was doing. I'm a community affairs representative for them, and when I was there, all of the 1,200 different volunteers and 100 different nonprofit projects across the 13 counties that make up that area were all being serviced through the Charlotte Community Toolbank. So I had no idea that I was going to walk into such a place, but when I got in there, it was 10,000 square feet of blue painted tools of all shapes and sizes, all ready to go out to the nonprofit organizations that were going to be served by our volunteers the next day. And what really blew me away was it wasn't just the tools that the volunteers needed that day, it was the water bottles that they would need to drink that day to stay hydrated, and the food, and all of the plants and mulch that were going to be going into the community gardens and playground builds, and all the different nonprofit facilities that were going to get renovated that day. So Toolbank was really the hub for all of this, and we couldn't have done it without them. And I didn't have anything like that in Phoenix to come back to and do it myself in my community. So I was inspired to get started, and luckily there is a parent organization, Toolbank USA, who has figured out how to replicate the model and bring it to other communities. So that started in June of 2011. We incorporated in the state of Arizona as Phoenix Community Toolbank in March of 2013, formed a board of 20 board members that incorporated that time together. And since then, we've just been raising the money to be able to hire our executive director, Jana Smith, and find the facility and lease it that you're in now, the 12,000 square feet. And we're excited about being open early in 2015.
The City of Phoenix was excited to be a partner in determining that we really did need this resource. Can you tell us a little bit about the process to talk with our nonprofit community about whether a community tool bank made sense?
Yeah, the City of Phoenix really blew us away in terms of their support to get this started and really figure out if it should start in Phoenix. One of the most important components to Toolbank USA's regimented process of bringing a tool bank to another community is, does that community want it? Would they use it? Is there a demand? Or is something like that already there? And so the City of Phoenix and other nonprofit leaders really worked with me to get the survey out about that and just to get a pulse check on the city at that time. You know, is this something that the City of Phoenix would use? And it wasn't just an overwhelming response, it was the best response that Toolbank USA has received in any community in terms of the volume of responses that came back from the neighborhood associations all over Phoenix, from nonprofits, from schools, churches, and other religious institutions, as well as corporations that have volunteer programs. And overwhelmingly, the results were, please bring this to Phoenix.
That's exciting. I've had the pleasure of serving on the state of Arizona's Service and Volunteerism Commission for about a decade, and we have regularly heard that the nonprofits just don't have the opportunity to pool resources, and that we could do so much together if we could stretch the limited resources we have. And the community was really looking for something like this, so it is something that fills a need we have in the City of Phoenix. We have a great nonprofit community, many strong neighborhood leaders, and the ability to share tools will help us go so much further, and really is a green, environmentally friendly way to share resources, spend less, and stretch this further. And I know sustainability is an interest that you and I both share. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited. You know, just whoever you are, if you're giving money to a nonprofit, you know, your personal money, or if you work for an organization that donates money to nonprofit organizations, you want those dollars to go into that nonprofit to accomplish whatever their mission is. If it's a school, you want kids to get a better education. And so when you can keep those dollars in that school or in that nonprofit organization and still have them be able to get the access to all the tools that they could possibly need to do any projects that they would want to do to better their school or to further their mission, then that's a win for the entire community, and it lifts volunteerism up.
Wonderful. Anything else the community should know?
We're just super excited to be here. You know, we are excited to see the level of impact. We've never been, Toolbank has never been in a city like the City of Phoenix in terms of the size, in terms of the population that's here, and so we're excited about the potential that we really are feeling like we're going to unlock when we open our doors.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for bringing this gem to District 8 and for joining me here today. Next up, we're heading downtown to the Van Buren Corridor and learning about a great new project at the Pickle House.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Welcome back to On the Go. We're here at the Pickle House at 14th Street in Van Buren, one of the most famous signs in the city of Phoenix, and now it's the sign of job growth and economic development. I'm here with one of the 50 most influential Hispanic leaders, Edmundo Hidalgo of CPLC. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for being here this morning. Really appreciate your visit.
Well, this is exciting. We both share a passion for economic development, preserving historic spaces, and good high-quality jobs. And you've recently won an important grant that will help us achieve that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, for Chicanos Pol La Causa, it's important that not only we represent the community, but we also bring in value, and through relationships, are able to bring in projects like this. This is a historical site, in that a lot of people refer to it as the Pickle House. But for us, it has a long history in our community in that this was really a base for jobs, good paying jobs in our community. And over a number of years, obviously this property has been a number of things. And so the opportunity to, again, refurbish it, to bring it back, to being active and being part of this job creation opportunity, is something that really has us very excited.
So we'll talk about the jobs that are coming, but first tell us about what the history of the Pickle House and what happened here.
Yeah, so for many years, this was part of the Arnold's Pickles, jarring enterprise, right? And so a lot of people don't realize that here in our downtown, that you actually had this enterprise. Well, over the years, as manufacturing evolved and actually went elsewhere, this particular site then became a furniture store. And so it operated as Lucy's Furniture, but because of the pickle signage out there, everybody still referred to it as a Pickle House. Well, it's sat vacant, and it has sat vacant for a number of years, and we can see, just by its deterioration, the fact that, again, the skeleton of the building is still magnificent. You still have a structure that we believe, we're able to save and restore, and really build that as a foundation for a project that we believe will be, in some ways, a destination and continue to be a monument, hopefully for the city of Phoenix.
Wonderful. Phoenix is a great place for entrepreneurs, but we haven't had as many maker spaces or places for entrepreneurs to come together. And the Washington and Van Buren corridors are becoming a hotspot of entrepreneurism. You've recently won a grant that will help us with this continued progress. Tell us about the award.
Yeah, so we're excited because, as you said, this is something that is truly helping us to revitalize, many parts of downtown Phoenix, but also other communities. When you have entrepreneurs who are trying to make a difference and are trying to not just create something for themselves, but something that has impact throughout our community, either through technology, either through job creation or innovation, then places like this, businesses like this are able to gather those ideas and those concepts and then make it a reality are really important. In many cases, those entrepreneurs are wanting to work with people that have similar ideas and similar purposes, and a makerspace is that what the concept's all about. Bringing entrepreneurs and other small businesses that are trying to work with other individuals to finally take their product to market. And so we're really, proud not only to have this location within the city of Phoenix, but also all the support that we're getting from the Economic Development Department, from real estate, and many of the other areas that have this as a focus in terms of job creation, as well as access to capital, and just bring innovation, back into our community.
That's wonderful. We have so many entrepreneurs along this corridor, but they haven't always had the resources they need to take it to the next level. And so this will be a hub where they can get some of that education.
Absolutely. The concepts and the ideas are there. It's a matter of providing the tools, of ensuring that we have the proper space, where we can bring the type of equipment that they need. And ultimately, how do we take that concept and idea to market? Because eventually, that's where those small businesses want to be. They want to be able to take that concept to market so that then they're able to grow their companies and hire more people, and eventually, be a larger and more mature enterprise that obviously benefits, many other people.
Can you tell us what is a makerspace and what are some of the pieces of equipment that you'll have here?
Yeah, so in this particular location, we're actually partnering with an established company called Idea Square. Idea Square is also located within the city of Phoenix, and because of the success, they're actually busting at the seams. So right now, they're in a much smaller space, about 3,000 square feet, and so they've had a lot of interest from other small businesses that are looking to utilize their 3D printer, a lot of the equipment that is used, both to, cut wood, to do sheet metal, to do soldering. And so often you need bigger space because you're working with bigger equipment. And so the idea of taking up about 20,000 square feet at this particular location is really going to allow them to grow exponentially. They're going from 3,000 to 20,000. And so that's going to be able to attract other entrepreneurs that have similar ideas to really grow their businesses in this particular space.
Wonderful. And it's a great synergy with some of the other investments in the community. We have Cohoots is nearby, a co-working space.
Right.
The Economic Development Authority has also invested at Gateway College, and we have the Center for Entrepreneurial Education, which is helping more of our biosciences companies. So they have a 3D printer that will help with living material, and now we'll have one that will help with prototypes and new inventions. So this is going to be a hot spot for entrepreneurs.
Very much so. I mean, a lot of this is complementary. Right? We understand that some groups work within different sectors, within different industries, but there's still a complementary in terms of ideas and access to resources. And more importantly, when one entrepreneur is able to be successful, they share those ideas, with the rest of the community. And for us, that's what's important. We want the energy that we always have known as part of the city of Phoenix, and through this corridor to, go into other communities that sometimes people don't think about, that could be part of this, great concept and hopefully great benefit.
And we're so excited to have you here and that you've chosen this location, which is a building with a lot of history. People tell me that's their favorite sign in the city of Phoenix. So will the Pickle House sign be staying?
Absolutely. Our team has incorporated, the Pickle House name into the full name, and so it's the Chicanos Pol La Causa Pickle House Makerspace. And so it's a mouthful, but we believe that again, it's one of those iconic, signs, that our community has learned to know and to love, and so we want to retain that. For us, it's important that we continue to keep the history, and obviously to incorporate the community and a lot of the cultural relevance that we all love to embrace within the city of Phoenix.
Wonderful. We have so much history, and it's wonderful that this is a development that will respect that history and embrace it as we incubate new businesses. Maybe the next Google is coming from the Van Buren corridor.
Absolutely. And the incorporation of education. Obviously, for you and for us, education is a key part, of our economic development strategy. And so we're trying to bring in, both the grade schools and the high schools that are within the surrounding area, but also partner with some of the high schools that have an interest in robotics, in, other elements, that could be a benefit to both them and to many of the small businesses. So bringing in some of the entry level, some of the young people that are trying to work with their hands and gain some knowledge and ultimately, take some of that into their own enterprises. So that'll be a part of this concept as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for investing in Phoenix, for embracing the diversity and the history of our community and helping us incubate the next great businesses. We are so glad to have you here.
Thank you for your support. We always appreciate that. Thank you.
That's it for today's edition of On the Go. Thank you for joining us. We've covered all sides of District 8, and you've got to learn a little bit about what's coming from more medical services, help for volunteers, and help for entrepreneurs. District 8 is definitely on the go, and we thank you for being part of it. If you have any concerns or advice, please contact my office or visit us online at phoenix.gov/District 8. Thanks for being with us today.